we're expecting right now, we're getting those CDC guidelines for schools. We're expecting that it'll include the recommendation that if school wants to stay open 5 days a week, there's really regular testing. When do we think that that'll be available to teachers and students? Is that part of the goal for the first 100 days to have regular testing available to all schools?
Well, again, I am eager to see them as a parent. I have not seen them or reviewed the guidelines that will be released. I think there's a briefing from the CDC a little bit later this afternoon. So that's an excellent question, and I certainly encourage you to ask it.
What are your criteria, the White House's criteria for what counts as a school being open?
The president's goal is to have schools open 5 days a week, kids in school learning, teachers in school, and to do it safely. And the CDC guidelines that will be released this afternoon, I'm eager to learn more about them as well. Those will be an important next step. And then his Secretary of Education, future Secretary, I should say, Miguel Cardona, this will be his top priority, as he has said. And the president will, of course, task him with looking for ways to work with our health experts and the CDC to open schools safely as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I guess I just mean as you're ramping up now, that's the ultimate goal, but as you're ramping up right now, what counts as a school being open as you're trying to get to 100%? Doesn't count as open unless it's all kids offered a seat every day?
Again, I think that what the president's focused on and what he's very mindful of, having raised many children, that makes it sound like he has 10, several children himself, being a very engaged and active grandparent himself, being the husband of a teacher who knows how valuable it is to be in person, is to return how schools were before the pandemic. But we are also going to be guided by science. We are going to be guided by our medical experts. We are going to be guided by the guidelines of the CDC. You'll all know more about that, as will we, later this afternoon. That will be an important next step in the process. Go ahead. We're not in a rush here, so go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. First, to follow up on schools, the guidance coming out is for K through 12 schools, but when you talk about the White House's goal to reopen the majority of schools, it's K through 8, from what I understand. So what is your goal for high schools to reopen in the next 100 days?
I'm not going to set a new goal today. What I will convey to you is that when Secretary Cardona is confirmed, this will be his top priority. And we will leave it to him and his team at the Department of Education, working in close partnership with the CDC and others to determine how quickly and efficiently it can be done.
Is there a reason that, the White House's goal for schools doesn't include high schools?
I would defer. I would suggest you ask the CDC about whether there are differences between the schools. I'm sure that's a question that might come up, but we'll see, and hopefully you'll get a question if that's the one you want to ask.
Thank you.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.